Alpine recently announced the departure of Otmar Szafnauer, Permane, and Pat Fry from the team, all in one weekend. This concerning development comes during what appears to be an increasingly chaotic period for Renault's Works Formula One team. What exactly is going on in Alpine's camp? Let's find out. 12 months ago, when Formula One entered its last summer break, Alpine held the position of the fourth best team on the grid, while Williams languished far behind in last place. A staggering 96-point gap separated the two teams after 13 races. Fast forward to this year, and with 11 races completed, the gap between Alpine and Williams has significantly narrowed to just 36 points. While the gap has decreased, it is worth noting that only one of these teams is truly on an upward trajectory, and surprisingly, it isn't Alpine. Only a few weeks ago, Alpine made a significant move by appointing Bruno Famin as the VP of Motorsport, aiming to establish a clear reporting structure within the team. Famin's appointment was seen as an effort to support CEO Laurent Rossi and Formula One team boss Szafnauer while maintaining the team's vision for success with their 100-race plan. At that time, Famin reassured everyone that there was no intention to alter the roadmap. However, things took an unexpected turn when Alpine suddenly announced Rossi's departure, moving him to unspecified special projects tasks. This development was seen by many as a signal of support for Szafnauer, as it potentially removed any conflicting dynamics between him and Rossi, who might not have been on the same page regarding the team's progress. Following the senior reshuffle, Szafnauer voiced his confidence in Renault CEO Luca De Meo, expressing the belief that he would be given the necessary time to elevate Alpine to the forefront of F1, aligning with their 100-race plan. When asked whether or not he felt De Meo would have the necessary patience, Szafnauer stated, "It takes time. I know Luca is a man of his word, and he gave me his word on 100 races to start winning, and sometimes you take a half step backwards to take 2 steps forward, so I have no concern that Luca will be true to his word and give me the 100 race time that is required." Yet, the aftermath of the Hungarian GP painted a different picture. Szafnauer parted ways with Alpine. Likewise, Permane, who was widely considered an endstone lifer, faced a similar predicament. The decision to part ways with Szafnauer and Permane was not due to their lack of value as employees, but rather a fundamental lack of unity over the team's vision. Bruno Famin, while expressing confidence in the team's abilities, acknowledged that successful projects require complete alignment between all team members and top management. Unfortunately, they found themselves diverging on critical topics, making it apparent that continuing together would be futile. Alpine's management, including Famin, held a belief that they could achieve competitiveness at a faster pace and through a different approach than what Szafnauer and Permane had suggested. Famin's self-assurance of rapid success defies the conventional wisdom held by others in the Formula One paddock regarding realistic timeframes and approaches for success. For instance, Ferrari's team principal, Fred Vasseur, had recently highlighted the difficulty in moving Formula One teams forward, even when recruiting top talent. Vasseur stated, "The reality of our business is that when you want to steer the boat a little bit, we are not agile anymore. We know that if we want to recruit, we are speaking not in days. We are speaking in years." These are timescales that Szafnauer has been well aware of from his years of experience in F1, and that is why even Alpine still has to wait months for the arrival of some senior personnel it has already signed from rival team. Yet there is another factor at play here from Alpine's perspective, which goes back to Einstein's famous definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. From Famin's perspective, it was unrealistic for Alpine to expect any change in how quickly results could be delivered if there was no overhaul of who was left in charge. From his perspective, stability can sometimes be bad because it prevents a change of direction, and that is something that he thinks is necessary based on the performance of the team in 2023. Famin denies that the timeline of events in recent weeks points to chaos inside Alpine and is adamant that the French manufacturer has a clear vision of what is needed. For now, Alpine's short-term prospects are unchanged. Famin will take on the team boss role but is undecided if he stays for the duration or brings in someone else. Longer term, things are much less defined. Alpine's 100-race plan to fight at the front in 2026 is clearly not good enough, which means it needs an instant and major response if it wants to make a leap over this winter and through next year. But from my experience in Formula One, Alpine's approach and cull without a firm vision of where it is going does not appear to be the sort of thing that is a route to success. Now, the pressure falls on Alpine's new leadership to validate their decisions and prove the doubters wrong. With the fierce competition in Formula One, every move counts, and Alpine must find a way to chart a course to success that aligns with their aspiration. The coming months and years will serve as a litmus test for the team, determining whether their calculated risks and unique approach will yield the desired outcomes. What's your thought about what's going on in Alpine? Let me know in the comments section below.